few times now. And okay. And then we're recording audio. So starting 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Inside the Locker, your home for discussion about sports and politics and film and fashion, and above all, Black Friday. Gentlemen, happy belated Thanksgiving to you guys. We hope everybody had a really pleasant and really lucrative and happy Thanksgiving break. You know, obviously we saw the family, we ate, but I got to ask you guys, what did you buy on Black Friday? And I ask this because, like a lot of you fellas out there, I have to buy my wife a Christmas present. I have not yet. It's December 3rd. I got to get on that. And I need some ideas. What'd you guys get?
I mostly bought a lot of Blu-rays. It's pretty much the only time of year that Arrow and Flash complete seasons go on sale.
$10, baby.
Yeah. Second season, Orange is the New Black was $5. Inside Out from Pixar was $10.
That's a good game.
Yeah. Interstellar was $4 from Target.
Overpriced.
Yeah. It is kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, this is only $86. Sure, I'll buy some of this.
No, I picked up If I Stay for $2.
Oh, my God. Ellie, what did you got?
I picked up a lot of Disney Infinity stuff.
Okay.
Like I can actually bring it in.
For those that don't know, what is Disney?
It is a thing for mega nerds like me who love Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. Disney has basically said, we own all of this shit. So we're tired of releasing a different game every 6 months for all our properties coming out. So what we're going to do is we're going to make one mega game, a platform, and every time a movie comes out, we're going to release a pack that goes to this game. Mm-hmm. And to get this pack, you have to buy an action figure that you put into this base station and it scans it. It's a toy that it scans it, ultimately character creation game, so for instance, Good Dinosaur. Instead of making a Good Dinosaur game, they just unveiled like a 4-disc like pack with some skins to say, here's some stuff from Good Dinosaur and a character. So it's actually more economical for them. But the good thing is they hired a really good sculptor when they had these action figures made, because the art style it's better than Bruce Timm on DC Animated, which is high praise coming from me, because like it's very stylized, but it's stylized in a way that gives you a lot of detail with clean lines. Mm-hmm. Like I only started playing this game because it's a kid's game. I only started playing the game because I like the action figures. It's like they had the Hulkbuster, like a cheap version for like $10.
I saw that it was good looking.
It's a good looking action figure. So I was like,
no, I just want to say for anybody out there that's talking about we don't keep it real with the geeks. We keep it pretty 100.
Like if they want proof, I can go to my car right now because I got this shit before I went to work. I went to my mailbox. I got 8 Disney Infinity action figures in my back seat right now. I got Jasmine, Aladdin, Anna, Elsa,
Who's
Stitch from Frozen.
Okay.
Because like they were like $4 on Black Friday at Walmart, so I just ordered them because like they're usually $13.
That's a good deal. I still haven't seen Frozen.
It's so good.
I know. I feel like I need to at least to relate to my music.
Like the song over that song is the least good thing about that movie.
So real quick, Penny, you have to knock it the fuck off here. So we ordered some Papa John's pizza. My dog wants it. I'm so rude. I forgot to introduce everybody. My name's Ron Drews. With me as always, JC De Leon.
What's up?
Elliot Fontanet.
It's your boy Bobby Ray. Your boy Jason 11, also known as Tiger 7. What's up?
And Penny the dog is in the house, barking away. No, guys. We got a lot to unpack. Whoa, hold on. Logan, you're Black Friday. What did you get on Black Friday? I know this man got some sick shit.
I went and bought a bunch of shit for my kitchen. I bought a new cutting board,
Oh!
a nice bamboo cutting board.
Get an adult, son.
I bought a knife sharpener so I can keep my shit sharp.
That's some Beyonce level shit.
It is. And then I proceeded to cook gumbo all day.
What did you put in your gumbo?
Well, I did it with turkey, leftover turkey carcass. I made that up into a nice turkey stock.
But you didn't put.
That's right.
But did you put tomatoes in your gumbo?
I did not.
Thank you.
I did it with bacon fat, flour.
Yes. It's straight fire.
Turkey, some sausage.
See, this man knows what he's doing. You don't put fucking tomatoes in gumbo.
It was my first time doing it, so I just followed the recipe. I don't know.
Did you Google? Like, it was like you looked up the recipe.
I did. I was like, what do I do with this giant turkey carcass left
That's
over?
awesome, man. So,
Besides, fuck it.
well, you know, you guys give me some stuff to think about.
And it was fucking delicious.
I didn't buy anything on Black Friday. I think I just never get around to it. All right, so
I can give you some advice.
all right, real quick.
Does your wife work in an office?
Yes.
I tell you, Funko Pop has a lot of like little figures in your office from like a lot of different pop culture things. If it's something she likes that you think there wouldn't be a figure for, there might be for. It's like Funko Pop has a lot of contracts with a lot of different like third parties.
She like any kind of nerdy things.
Any at all, like yeah, like even like what's that one with the two brothers driving around and saw supernatural? They even have supernatural stuff.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool.
Or you could just let her hang out.
Awesome, guys.
Or you'd be like, my presence is a present.
All right, so you know, we got a lot to unpack. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Josh Norman, Carolina Panthers cornerback, who has maybe the geekiest in-game habit of anyone in the NFL and maybe sports. JC, why don't you elaborate?
He's really into movies, and so first of all, he's quickly becoming one of the best corners in the league, if not the best corner. He's the guy who it was week 4 or 5, returned a pick six against James Winston, and a few days before that, had called the league office and said, "Hey, this is the celebration I'm going to do when I pick six James Winston. Am I going to get fined?" And knowing that he was going to pick six James Winston and did, he got fined.
Yes.
He's the guy over Thanksgiving that said Des Bryant should give his $7 million back because he shut down Des Bryant. So yeah, he's quickly becoming one of the best corners in the league. He's really into movies. And
He's just crossing his T's and dotting his I's.
yeah, and so every Sunday he watches a movie just like himself up, and he pretends to be a movie character throughout the entire game.
Yes.
There was a game in September in which he was pretending to be Achilles from the movie Troy, played by Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
and was repeatedly heard throughout the game screaming, "There are no pacts between lions and men."
Yes.
That's fantastic. So Josh Norman, he is we're going to put him in the ITL Hall of Fame.
He is in the Hall of Fame.
He's one of our guys. Now, speaking of, no, this is actually a terrible transition, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. We should probably comment on the Batman against Superman trailer that was released this week. By all accounts, this movie is going to be terrible and an embarrassment.
It's going to be bad.
But how bad was it? I need the expert opinion. How bad was that trailer?
It was actually the worst it could be because it gives people false hope, like all Zack Snyder films do. Because like parts of it look really good, but the minute they have like dialogue that's not the two main characters, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But they make Lex Luthor like some wacky. They make him full Jesse Eisenberg. Use some medication. You sort of calm the fuck down a little bit. And I say it's to somebody on medication.
So I'm actually probably going to be in the minority in that. I've been excited about this movie. The previous trailer, I thought it wasn't a really good trailer. This trailer, I'll admit, isn't the best. It's not going to temper my excitement. It's not going to make me think it's going to be bad. The things it reveals, I just feel like there's too much left in the movie that's going to be good. And yeah, so excited.
See, I feel like you're projecting it. You're like, those are your hopes. I'm saying, like, have you seen Watchmen?
But also, that would end.
I'm a Zack Snyder fan. And I like all his movies.
You like Watchmen?
Yeah.
The Hallelujah scene
Yeah.
where they're having sex in the flying car, and at the climax, a flamethrower is true. That's good to you.
I mean,
I don't think anything he's ever done is redeemable. But
So Sucker Punch.
I do like that.
oh, okay. Yeah, but I don't know. You know that Superman. Okay, but the Superman movie was like the worst, right? Like that was the worst movie in the last 5 years.
It was like a mirage. Because the first act is really good, but then the last act he just forgets that he's supposed to care about people, and it's like, man, fuck it, I'm not just destroy everything. Now they can retroactively make that movie better, if in Man versus if it's Superman versus Batman, they go, the only reason Wonder Woman and all those people are showing up is they're like, hey, you need to actually fucking worry about the people instead of just destroying the fucking city. If they do that, they'll actually make the first movie better because they'll be like, oh, he didn't know what he was doing.
I gotta say, you're wrong. I think everything about that movie was just the worst movie I've ever seen. The worst movie. So I think this movie's gonna be a shameful, dark day for America.
But at least we'll have a good movie coming out right next to it in Captain America: Civil War.
All right, so let me ask you guys. See, that movie's gonna be just ridiculous.
It's gonna be great.
It looks borderline idiotic. like I don't know. I enjoyed Age of Ultron a great deal, and I trust the people making it, so it'll probably be all right. But that trailer makes it just
What?
absurd and stupid.
The part where Winter Soldier and Captain America is beating the shit out of Iron Man, that's an awesome scene.
I don't know, man. It's just like, I started to become cynical about Star Wars when I read that by contract there has to be, like, when Disney was like these movies are so reverse engineered that they're just an exercise in marketing, right? So like the Disney movie, Disney said, hey, do this, and this, and we need a scene where somebody passes down a lightsaber. We got to have that scene. So it's all note cards. It's all like big by the numbers, execute.
But it could be like, this could be stuff that people have been wanting to see. Like, it's thematic. It's like, we need to see the passing the torch for the new franchise to take off.
Look, I'm gonna go see the Star Ward movie. I'm into it.
At 6 a.m.
At 6 a.m. on opening day. I did. That's a true story about my tickets for 6 a.m. opening day for the Star Wars movie. But
I hope it sucks so bad.
I might enjoy it.
Why do you hope it sucks?
Because it's gonna be so funny. Like, I'm gonna start.
We're gonna get 20 years of this shit. You might as well be okay. Like they're selling movies based on like ideas, right? Like the fucking at the very beginning of Star Wars, the original, they say that like some rebels stole these like plans for this thing.
And that's Rogue One.
So then they're like, okay, that's a movie.
Yeah.
We want a young Han Solo movie. That's a movie. We want a movie about Chewbacca's long lost daughter. That's a movie. Like we want a movie about like the water people and the fucking Phantom Menace. So
that's called Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation. So I don't know, man. I think it's all bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, Kobe Bryant on his way out of the end. Well, hold on. Let me just ask you guys this. What does Batman and Superman, like? What is left for them? Like what excitement can they bring about in this movie? Like, we know what's going to happen. We know who's going to be in it. What's left to show us?
Genuine animosity. Because, like, even in Civil War, Captain America, Tony, and Iron Man, they may not like each other, but they don't hate each other. Like, at the beginning of this, like, it looks like Batman and Superman just need to shit on each other. Like, just have a true, like, I just do not like this person.
Okay. Yeah. So just seeing animosity to people that, fight their deck or something.
Like, in that trailer, like, Clark Kent goes, well, wouldn't you think that Batman's a vigilante? And Batman just like has his quip, like I forgot the exact words, like right back at him. He's like, yeah, you say Batman's so bad, but every time Superman like saves a puppy, you write a puppy piece. Yeah, it's just like if they can really focus on that and like pointing out where each of them is full of shit, that'd be great because that's what I think Civil War's gonna try to do. It's like you can say that you want freedom, but who are you accountable to? Captain America, but then on the same side, like Iron Man, it's like, well, okay, you want to be accountable to somebody, but what happens if they tell us to go attack a foreign country? Do we do that?
What's the point of Civil War?
It's after Civil War, after Age of Ultron with Sokovia, where it's entirely due to the Avengers and mostly Iron Man, the world almost got destroyed. The nations of the world come together to you and they say, look, we have accords that govern when we activate the Avengers. And the entire UN Security Council has to agree so that the Avengers don't just operate without any oversight of it. So the problem is they get Thunderbolt Ross, who was the villain in the Incredible Hulk, to be their liaison. So you get a different liaison, and it works completely differently.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Which I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around the movie plot because I just finished reading the comic book plot. It was quite a bit different.
Yeah. So they're just using the name for sensationalism.
What was different?
Comic Book Civil War was there was a superhuman registry after a group called the New Warriors confronted those that they weren't ready for. They blew up an entire town,
including right next to an elementary school.
Yeah, blew up an elementary school. So the government says, hey, y'all need to fucking tell us who you are so we can, regulate you. And Captain America says, well, go fuck yourself. I'm not getting registered. I don't think you guys should have to register because if they're a superhero, we should be thankful for what they're doing. Iron Man goes, well,
we have to protect our identities and protect our families and loved ones.
Yeah, whereas Iron Man goes, what we should be regulated. They have a big fight, but Mark Millar, to like sort of bend the narrative to his will, makes Iron Man hate him and Mr. Fantastic into villains because they start hiring villains to hunt down heroes.
Maybe the portion of that is going to be with Spider-Man. Because somebody pointed out that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as it is, now Spider-Man's going to be in it. And Spider-Man is the only one with super advantage. Everybody else knows who all the superheroes are.
That's probably going to be the nod to it. They're probably going to be like, there's probably going to be like a 5-minute scene with Spider-Man, and that's going to be it. Bennett!
Cut the crap. Sometimes dogs start digging in the water bowl. They get to the bottom of the drink and they can start digging. Well, that's fascinating, guys. I'm back in. You back in this week.
Does that like filibuster for a second?
All right.
Jesus.
Now I want to talk about Kobe Bryant. We should mention very briefly one of the great
ball hogs.
One of the best. One of the 10 best basketball players. I don't know, JC. Where would you rank Kobe on the list of like best all-time ballers? Top 10?
Yeah, definitely top 10. If I had to really think about it for a long time, kind of rank all that, maybe top 5. But definitely top 10.
Well, sorry. So one of the elite players. Also one of those players that never really
connected.
He had a hard time connecting left and right. Obviously, Lakers fans loved him. Obviously, it was a situation where because of his personality, you never felt like you knew who you were watching. You always felt like he was a little bit too packaged and a little bit too put together. We were talking earlier, right? The Black Mamba thing. It's something that he basically gave himself a nickname.
I feel like Kill Bill.
And then he like sat down with like Nike and was like, okay, this is one thing. And it's a little bit, and like right now, latter years Kobe, he's a little bit too focused on his legacy and just super self-aware, wants to sort of talk about every aspect of his career. So he's filtering everything through the Kobe, kind of the Kobe perspective.
Did he end up with 3 championships?
He ended up with 5.
Really? 5?
Yeah. The 3 with the Phil Jackson Lakers, and then he won 2 in like 2009, 2010.
I think he's a study. Even though he has 5 championships, just in like pride goes before the fall. So he could have won more if he would have put his pride away a little bit.
Yeah, because you can make the argument that he won 3 with Shaq, and after he kind of forced Shaq out, which is something nobody's ever really admitted to, but that's pretty much what he did. The Lakers were good, but they weren't anywhere near championship level, and it wasn't until Jerry West gifted Pau Gasol to the Lakers in a really lopsided trade that then they won in 2009, 2010, because at the time, Pau Gasol was the best power forward in the game. And so, yeah, you can make the argument that if it weren't, that Kobe always needed that second fiddle. It's kind of
everybody needs to. Right. Yeah.
Scottie Pippen was an amazing player.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen was amazing. When Dennis Rodman came to the Bulls as most kind of trouble and cheap, they became just about unstoppable.
Yeah.
6 games. But all right, I don't know though. I think that's a little bit of a what if. Imagine Kobe and Shaq staying together. 2005 finals were completely 2006 finals were completely different. Obviously, the 05 and 06 are completely different years, and I think they had 3 to 4 more titles in them together. So it is kind of that they separated, that went out, and now Kobe, this guy that we always knew, was just like the class of 1996 high schoolers, man, Shareef Abdul-Rahim, Kobe Bryant, countless ballers, Ray Allen. There you go, Kobe.
It's just it's sort of a, for me, it's sort of an end of an era because he was the last player that really debuted when I was still like in high school.
Well, let me ask you this, because we're
20 years.
talking 96 NBA draft, and we had guys like, I mean, Sajunas Ilgauskas. We had guys like, I don't know, Sean Harvey, Deron Shepard, but the top tier, Jermaine O'Neal, Steve Nash, Peja Stojakovic, Kobe, Eric Dampier, Kerry Kittles, Antoine Walker, Steph Marbury, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Marcus Camby, Allen.
Yeah.
Who do you take first in that draft?
I mean, knowing what we know now, Kobe would still be first.
Yeah. He went 13th in the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never take Allen Iverson.
Oh, no, ever. Allen Iverson's one of the best players of all time.
No, he's not.
One of the greatest scout guys.
What has he won?
Oh,
What has he won?
He won the 2000 MVP.
Did he win?
He won the 2000
Did he win a championship?
The championship game is there's so many players that don't.
There's gigantic, yeah.
But here's the thing. There's a difference between playing in an era where you have a dominant player where you're not going to win and being so selfish and so short-sighted that you can't win.
No, that's just not.
We talk about practice? Practice?
Alice. Yeah, people are gonna highlight one thing like that. LeBron's always gonna have the not one, not two, not three thing thrown up in his face. Like that's
And he
something
should.
It's something he shouldn't have said, but it's not anything he should be condemned for forever.
I'm not saying condemn, but I'm saying recognize that you're in a team game. You can be the star, but you have to function within that team. If you're so good,
He dragged terrible teams to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Alan, and then just one of the you can also the one that I like is that he's pound for pound the best player of all time.
Yeah.
Dude is a little guy. No, I mean
for being as small as he was, he's one of the most prolific scorers.
6'8", 165 pounds.
Yeah.
Just one of the
he's the Mighty Mouse of basketball.
And the other thing is that he's had gambling problems, he's had personal problems. That has nothing to do with his ability on the court. So yeah, one of the greats. We'll always love Allen Iverson. All right, now you guys had kind of a funky topic that I'll let you guys introduce. Basically, this is a sort of big picture thematic discussion, but it is timely and it is on brand.
Yeah. So on the heels of Creed, which is a fantastic movie, if you haven't seen it, definitely go out and see it.
I gotta see that Creed. I haven't seen that Creed.
I'm seeing it on Saturday.
Well, I gotta see that Creed.
It's essentially, starting a new franchise. It's essentially the seventh Rocky film. So I got to thinking, movie franchises are always referred to as what they are, franchises, and what we call teams throughout their history of franchises. And so thought about Rocky, there being 7 movies. 6 of them are good, if not great. And one gets totally dismissed. And so I'm not sure what kind of winning percentage that is. But not so much focus on the percentage, the numbers of the percentage. It's, how many of the movies are great versus how many are bad. And so I got to thinking which sports franchise is similar to that. Rocky, for all intents and purposes, like 85%. Rocky, for all intents and purposes, has been a dominant movie franchise, if you will, because it was an Oscar darling when it first came out in the 70s.
They won Best Picture, yeah.
Yeah. Since the 70s. And so, I thought about which teams have been dominant for that long. And I mean, any number of teams I could come up with, but you're the football expert. Who do you equate a franchise that's been dominant since the 70s?
Well, I mean, there's two.
Circling in out of relevance.
There's two. It's the Cowboys and the Steelers. Maybe the Steelers a little bit more because they've won. They've been to X amount of Super Bowls. And they've been a little bit more relevant lately. So Pittsburgh is probably the team you pick. Yeah.
So what about a franchise like Harry Potter?
Ooh, we're talking about whether there are 8 movies in the Harry Potter franchise, and there's only one that's even middling. That's the Serpent Tongue, whatever the second one. Like that one's the Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, that one's just sort of boring, but it's not bad. So we're talking about just a relentlessly dominant team. I tell you, they gotta be the Celtics. Like just the old school Celtics. I'm talking about the ones who were winning all the championships for a long time, who now are out of repair and they're about to come back. If they get the new LSU player, I'm stealing a line from JC right now.
Hey, so Mr. Diehard LSU fan, what's the LSU player saying?
I don't know. I said I was stealing a line. Hey, I didn't front. I said I was stealing a line.
So, all right. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the better parallel, JC, you mentioned this earlier too. Spurs, right? Have been good since the late 90s, have taken over the game. And Harry Potter, since the late 90s, is the biggest franchise in the world. It's the only franchise.
You want to be right.
It's just the big, yeah. It's not as good as like some. I don't know. Harry Potter's better than anything Marvel.
No, but because like the Spurs, like they're very derivative. Like they just see what works and they do that.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, I like Harry Potter. I think it's a great franchise, but it is derivative.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I have a problem with Harry Potter. Is I can always see where they're pulling from.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, like the third, I think it's the third movie. With the time turner.
Mm-hmm.
I could quote you like 5 different sources for that plot device. And it's like, okay, you pulled that plot device and you made it work in the world. That's cool, but there's nothing original in Harry Potter. Especially if you know anything about Neil Gaiman and his books of magic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about aliens? So, well, first, do you consider Prometheus in the alien franchise?
It has to be.
Okay, so that's 5 movies.
Anybody who doesn't think that is just an apologist.
Right. Okay, so that's 5 movies. How many of those have you do?
Oh, I'm thinking 2.
Right.
2.5. Because Aliens 3, it has the guy from Rock. In Rock, for all youngins who don't know,
Charles Dutton.
yeah, it was a series for black folk in the mid-90s. That was fucking awesome. It was like the anti-Cosby.
If you're not familiar with Rock or Charles Dutton, he's the wise black man.
Yeah, and like his character is great in that movie, but the shit they do with Ripley makes no fucking sense in Alien 3. So like, I gave it 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, the first 2 were pretty awesome.
And then you got Winona Ryder and 4. And yeah.
Just a classic, you know, we're going to go here, there's a battle, happy to die. We're going to go here, there's a battle, happy to die. Then there's a freaking antics.
Can we count Mockingjay Part 2? Like, they completely rip off the aliens during a part of that movie?
What do they rip off?
They rip off the part in Aliens, the second one where Vasquez and all the Space Marines are going through that corridor and they have like the machine that reads out where the alien is.
Yeah.
Hunger Games, they're in a sewer park. It's the complete same scene. They have these things chasing them, and they have a little machine that tells them how close they are. And they even use the same camera angles with like a huge gun, like the auto gun that Vasquez has, that one that straps onto her.
Yeah.
That it's the same thing. It's like the exact same scene.
Yeah. I'm kind of all right with that.
All right, so what's 4.2?
So good in the late 70s, early 80s. Haven't done anything since.
The 76ers?
The Knicks.
That's bad.
I was thinking on similar things with Indiana Jones, the same kind of thing, where it was good in the late 70s, early 80s. Excuse me. A charismatic leading man in the early period, and then it just kind of the young blood of the recent years. There's Indiana Jones with
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's just like Steve Young and Joe Montana.
They had a last game. Fell short.
You bring up a Lucas property. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Star Wars. Yeah. Like you got great to middling, like great first 2 movies. Third movie passable, still good, still satisfying, but and those was upper quality. Then you get to the late 90s. The first 2 movies are just took a shit. The third one comes back a little bit, and now you have a new hope. So like, what do you like? Who compares to those?
Well, I mean, time will tell on what their eventual plan is, but
50 Star Wars movies.
yeah, like the 76ers have a great plan in that they're the worst team in the league right now, obviously. And they're looking for a new hope, if you will, in a guy like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is the guy from LSU.
I'm a basketball player like my father.
Yeah. And so yeah, and you think of the Philadelphia 76ers, and like a lot of my memories are like, you know, he was a little bit before I was born, but I went back and saw highlights. Dr. J,
Yeah.
Moses Malone.
Yeah.
Barkley was my favorite player as soon as I discovered basketball, and he was still a 76er. And I loved Iverson, as we just talked about. And so, yeah, I think that's an apt comparison. I like what Adam, everyone who knows Adam is here today. when I sent out the email with this topic, he suggested Toy Story with a 100% winning percentage because they're young, vibrant, exciting, fun. And what's funny about his email is this was a few days ago and undefeated as of this recording.
Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he put in parentheses probably, and they are.
But it's a franchise we all sort of want to see fail a little bit.
We've talked about this. We don't like the light skin dudes.
Yeah, fuck you, Ron, from a different world.
I harbor resentment towards Toy Story 3 because I felt like it should have, How to Train Your Dragon should have gone
Man, if it wasn't for that last Toy Story 3 where they faced their fucking death, I'd be with you.
That death where they were obviously never going to kill.
No, I thought they were gonna die. Like they fucking start holding hands as they're heading for the fire, and like
what's funny? It's like the funniest thing. Somebody like recut Toy Story so that was like right after because it fades to black.
Yeah.
And so they recut it so that like after that the credits start rolling.
Yeah.
And then they showed it to like he gave it to his mom. His mom watched it. She's like, "What?" She was like so upset.
I want to show that cut to like a kindergarten class.
Yeah, just that's the end of the movie.
The child therapist cut.
What?
It's like the same thing as like a cardiologist like giving out McDonald's coupons.
Toy Story 3 was good. I didn't get your joke. What was
It's very traumatic. They're gonna get a lot of business off of it.
Okay, got it.
Plus, like, it's the only Disney movie with Totoro in it, so I gotta give it that too.
I loved Toy Story 3. I didn't watch How to Train Your Dragon.
It's so good.
I bet it's pretty good, right?
It's like if E.T. became a better movie. That's possible. It's that. The soundtrack is amazing. The animation is great.
So who's E.T.? Like, should have been 20 E.T. movies. We got one. We got one.
Because like they
so a great team that was cut down in its prime, and
the Lakers.
No, because the Lakers got multiple titles. The kind of thing where you're like, we should have seen 5 of these titles. The Seahawks.
The Seahawks. Yeah.
The Seahawks are the ET.
They got a punk ass on top of it.
Why didn't we get 30 ET? Like, why would these people not feel like I mean, the marketing on that,
Especially the way it began, like they're obviously way more features.
yeah,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I'm thankful that we didn't get more ETs. My name is Elliot. And that fucking movie, Elliot, sucks. It's like, did your mom name you after fucking ET? No, go fuck yourself.
You know, it's funny. My mom watched ET in the theater when she was pregnant with me, and she fell asleep throughout the whole movie. She woke up at the end when ET leaves, and she just started crying. She didn't watch any of it.
I tell you, like, the only movie I ever cried in my entire life, and I was like 11 at the time, was Really. For some reason, that movie just got to me, and I was just bawling. My dad was like looking at me as he was there. Like, what the fuck are you crying for? Exact words.
So Free Willy, Free Willy was great. All right,
Free Elliot.
do we got any more?
I think we're good.
Think we're good?
If any of the listeners have any suggestions for franchises and
This
sports
franchise is
comparisons,
Yeah.
I got one more. Right. It's gonna be the last one, but let's talk about South Park. This is a team that has been continuously great, but it's starting to buy into their bullshit a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
In the last season, like the last season of South Park, they have been around so long. I think the world has sort of passed them by.
So you're saying that Trey Parker and Matt Stone are getting a little too.
They get a little up their own ass. It's like they're so like libertarian that they're missing the point of a lot of their arguments that they're trying to pick. So it's like sort of a franchise that's been great forever that now is starting to get a little too into it. So I gotta say the Yankees.
Okay. Yeah. Dominant for a long time. I mean, the timestamp doesn't work, but I get it. That's good shit. All right. Should we do our NFL picks? You know, I gotta say, these picks, I feel bad. I feel like we just haven't been doing well. Right,
Who's winning?
That's just me.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I forgot to tally it up for last week, so next week I'll have an updated number, but we'll go ahead and make picks now.
I tell you what's been a revelation is that the Texans have started winning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
Well, hold on. So I mean, guys, before we do that, we should pull up the NFL standings because this is kind of when we will get who's alive, who's still standing, and we need to sort of like, who's in it, who's not in it, who's good, who's bad. This is pretty easy. These teams are all dead. All right, Dolphins are dead. The Ravens, the Browns are dead. The Chargers are dead. The Jaguars and the Titans are dead. The Saints are done. The Lions are mathematically out of it. The Cowboys are out of it, even though they're not technically out of it. The Rams and 49ers are done. So that's about half the league. I want to ask you guys.
I have to say, that's a really weird list this year.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of the first years, like, there's so many.
Good teams that you think would be there.
Yeah.
Well, Tampa Bay's out?
Tampa Bay's not out of it. And I want to ask you guys. So the Patriots, the Bengals, the Broncos, and the Panthers, and the Cardinals. Those are probably the 5 best teams. Those teams are all 9-2 or better. We're not going to talk about them. We know they're really good. But I'm going to ask you guys, contender or pretender? And I'll just sort of run through this very quickly. Seattle Seahawks. They are 6-5.
Pretender.
Yeah, I've seen them. Pretty bad.
Yeah, just ghost of wins past.
So it's best. Not a candidate for the playoffs.
They're going to get to the place where they're just going to shit the bed.
Yeah, they're too inconsistent.
Like, Richard Sherman needs to, just buck up and play.
All right, the Green Bay Packers. Up and down offensive line problems. 7-4 as of this recording, maybe 7-5 shortly after this. 2 games back on the Vikings in the NFC North. I think contenders are contenders.
Pretenders.
I mean, yeah, Minnesota could still. Are you talking about overall like Super Bowl champions or just?
We're talking like, can they get to the playoffs?
Yeah, they're still good.
7-5 Packers that are about to lose to the Lions for the second time this
Well,
season.
only just because I mean they can in that division they can get to the playoffs and I think maybe they might make noise once in the playoffs.
All right.
I also think that they're a better team than their schedule or than their record suggests. But yeah, it's gonna be up.
I think the Packers have specific problems. We'll see what comes. All right. The Falcons are 6-5. They're sputtering out of control. They've lost 4 in a row. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that. But they still have a winning record this late in the season. It's all you can ask for if you're an NFL team. They have a lot of talent.
I say contenders. They just have a team that I think is streaky. If they get hot and healthy, that's something. Okay, if they get hot at the right time, I think they can really make a run into the playoffs.
Now, none of these teams are good. But is any NFC East team going to do something in the playoffs? And if so, who? What do you guys think of that? And then remind that person. For those that don't know, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Jets. That's what I was suggesting. Currently, the Redskins are in first place.
Yeah.
At 5-6, playing Dallas on Monday night.
Jesus.
The Giants should be better than they are. We keep expecting New York to take control of that division, and they just cannot do it. The Eagles are 4-7. They're out of it. We're done talking about them. So, Giants or Washington? Who do you guys like? I like the Giants. I think the Giants actually get there, get it done. And
Yeah, there's enough talent there. There's enough veterans there.
Isn't it LSU receivers there?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be fine.
all right, now, we talked about
It's so fucking bizarre, though, man. How can you predict this kind of schedule or this kind of layout for it?
these are all bad teams with problems.
Yeah.
And whoever bucks up to this down the stretch is going to get a meaningless home playoff game that will make them a lot of money. All right, the AFC South, it's the Colts, it's the Texans. Andrew Luck isn't healthy, but the Colts have won in a row. The Texans have won 4 in a row.
Sit down the Bengals.
Took the Bengals with the wire, took them down on Monday night. Good talent on the defensive front. The offense isn't really doing anything. Colts, the Texans are so relevant that all of a sudden the next week, Sunday night, they got flexed to Texans Patriots. So, who you guys like? And any of these teams do?
I gotta still go with the Colts. The Texans, they're going to do just enough for O'Brien to keep his job, and they're going to try to get a quarterback. Like, I think that's what they need to find. They need to just give them. They just need to they need to intentionally lose as many games as they can.
That's just unrealistic. You can't ask people when it's their job to. I mean, I get that long term, but people compete, people scheme, so we can't.
I'm not saying the players need to.
And they have a winning record in December. What are you talking about? Lose?
I'm saying the GM needs to tell the coach, like, look, don't try to win until we get the quarterback off. So that's a good quarterback's coming out of college this year.
Excuse me, Penny. Knock it off. So you like the Texans? You like the Colts? Jason, what do you like?
Yeah, I'd like Hasselbeck to kind of,
Keep the love train moving.
keep the boat steady, and Andrew Luck to come back healthy.
Yeah, I think the Colts have an easier schedule down the stretch, and I think you're right. I think the Colts should be expected to win the division. Raiders, everyone's favorite team. It would be cool if they were like 7-4 and they were in the playoffs, but this isn't like they are. We can't talk about that anymore. But we can't talk about the Chiefs. Chiefs won 5 in a row. Won a big winner-go-home game against Buffalo last weekend. Eye on the 5 or 6 seed. One of the best teams cooking right now. Are the Chiefs a team that can challenge people in the AFC?
If Peyton was still there throwing up wild ducks the way it had been all year, then I'd say the Chiefs could come back and take it. But Osweiler seems all right, and so I think he's going to keep Denver afloat.
Yeah, that defense is too good.
We're talking about the Chiefs, you guys.
I thought they were Denver.
Chiefs have won 5 in a row. Denver's won 2. But that is interesting. I mean, you're right. All of a sudden, a 9-2 Denver Broncos team, you would have said, oh, man, Peyton Manning's doing his thing. This team's really good. I got to see this. But the reality is that all of a sudden you have a first-year starter taking over late. You can't realistically expect him to do all that gliding and hosting a playoff game.
It could be a Steve Young situation where when Steve Young went in for Montana, he made his place.
It took Steve Young years and years and years puttering around to be any kind of a relevant force. Brock Osweiler's a 30-year player. He's 25 years old. He's got a gun, and he seems like a hell of a player and a fine young gentleman. But I think the Broncos are not going to be able to win the Super Bowl. But the Chiefs, I think, can upset a team like if this Kansas City team played in Denver in the divisional round, I would think Kansas City. I think Kansas City's really good. I think they're going to watch out for them. Borderline elite team. Pittsburgh Steelers 6-5, just lost a tough one on the road in Seattle. This is a team that always feels like it's playing down. Marcus Speed, Martavis Bryant, Antonio Brown. No one is more efficient and impressive as a receiving unit. D'Angelo Williams is a good stand-in for the NFL. Everything that Big Ben does works. But this team has one glaring weakness in that secondary, but its run defense is improving in a way that it hasn't been in 2 or 3 years. Pittsburgh is for real. I just don't know if they're good enough to make the playoffs. But they're the Steelers. They get cooking. People know them. What do you guys think?
I think this will set up, but they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, I think there's too many good teams in that conference. I don't think they'll make any noise.
Yeah, I'm not. I've never really trusted this team. I've never trusted them to come through whenever you think they will. Just want to split this team. I feel like it's got always like against. I don't know.
It sounds like we're like holding a voice and then something.
Yeah.
I mean, in the AFC East, this division, I mean, it seems pretty wrapped up. I mean, New England's 10-1, Jets are 6-5. New England has a hold on the division, but they have a lot of injuries.
Got a hold.
Yeah,
But then they have a huge hold on the division.
but they have a lot of injuries, and so the question is whether or not they're going to make noise in the playoffs. I mean, it depends on how healthy Gronk stays, and if they can't lose any more receivers because they're down to Brandon LaFell and Danny Amendola.
Jesus. Yeah. Jesus.
I don't know.
Whoa!
It's a weird year.
Wait a second. The Green just went in on the last second play.
Holy shit. We're watching.
Fuck you, Detroit.
We're watching the Green Bay Detroit game, and it looks like Green Bay just won on a. What was that? Was that a Hail Mary?
It was a Hail Mary.
It was a 61-yard touchdown reception by Richard Rodgers. You guys got to show a little more professionalism. Come on. We're in the middle of recording a podcast.
No, professionalism. Do I get paid for this?
Hey, you get pizza.
I'm just saying.
I was actually just looking at the division. I was like, hey, Green Bay goes 7-5, and Minnesota ends up being 9-3. But all right, so now 8 wins for Green Bay.
We don't have to sit. Look, Green Bay won. Green Bay's good. I think Aaron Rodgers really salvaged the night for any fantasy owner. All right. Well, there you go. Green Bay, Detroit, 27-23. Probably
After being down 20-0, they came back to win.
And on the road.
Well, there you go. All right, folks. Good note to end on. Everybody have a lovely and pleasant evening. Peace.
It was 45 minutes.
We filled the quota. It was just we're all tired.
Yeah.
We're all tired. We're all tired, and I'm down to do some picks, but I no shit about picks. Like we haven't put them in any kind of position to be a thing.
Yeah.
We covered a lot.
Yeah, it was a good show. I think we did a damn good job, and everyone's tired. It's just